Hi friends, I'm recording this video early in the week leading up to Easter Sunday. So I wanted to share this week a couple classic Easter hymns. There are some great modern Easter hymns that have come out of Ireland, but they're still under copyright protection and I don't feel it's right to share those. So the first hymn I'll share is Thine Be the Glory. It's an older hymn. If you have sung hymns now or growing up, then you're probably familiar with this one. We'll follow the usual format. I have provided a link in the notes to this video where you could download the music and tabs if you use those. I'll stand so that you could watch me play through it and get a sense of the notes. You could look up the music for this tune, but most of the music is not written for us to play on our D whistles, so I did have to transpose the music and retranscribe it for that. So that's why I've provided the link, because otherwise you could look it up anywhere and everywhere. But I've made it so that we could play it on our D whistles. We'll talk about some of the flow of the tune, any difficulties you might experience, and some different thoughts on expressing the tune, including some of the emotion and ornamentation. And I'll share just a bit on the history of the tune. So here is the tune, Thine Be the Glory. All right, so that's the tune. We'll call that the Play Along with Scott section. Please feel free to go back, slow me down if you want to, and if you're learning by playing along with me, just repeat to that section. I'll have chapters so that you could just jump right back to that. There are just a couple of things from a challenge standpoint. The tune has one sharp, so that means you're going to play the F sharp as normal, but that means you're going to play the C natural. However, on the last line before the refrain starts, which for you is going to feel like a repeat of the first two lines, the last line you're actually going to play the C sharp. And what the C sharp does there is it changes the mood of that last line of the verse section of the tune. And if you're not familiar with the words, you might want to look them up because it actually helps with some of the dynamics as you're playing. The tune is really to be played as a kind of a triumphal entry march. So give it just a little bit of oomph. But on that third line, you back it down a bit. So, and then you pick it back up in the fourth line. Yeah, get the feel for it. Expression as you like. Try and pour some passion into it as you're playing it, and feel free to add some extra notes and ornament away. It's a great tune. Depending upon how you're playing it, you've got these beautiful held notes that you can vibrato, or you can add some rolls into, or you could just hold it as cleanly as you can. It's a lot of fun with this tune. It's a great tune to emote as you play. And it's a hymn I'm probably going to play through on my Howard and in my Wild Irish. I think those two whistles. And just a little bit on the history. In 1884, the Swiss composer Edmund Budry, who I forget how many different songs and hymns he composed, but a lot. And he wrote the words to this tune in French. And he wrote it to marry with the Handel's oratorio from Judas Maccabeus that Handel wrote back in the 18th century. And then in 1923, Budry gave Richard Hoyle permission to translate and massage an English version, so that the English version would go with the oratorio of Judas Maccabeus from Handel. And that's really the hymn as we know it today, and it kind of became quite popular. I think it first appeared in a YMCA hymnal, and then probably not too long after that was more widely accepted. It's funny to think about the transition of tunes. You think about how a tune's going to catch hold in the psyche of the people hearing it and singing it. So anyway, that's a little bit about the history of the tune. And it's a personal favorite for me of the older hymns, because when we lived in England, we were up in the Midlands, right on the edge of Derbyshire, there in the northern corner of Nottinghamshire, that the folks there just loved this great hymn from the way you could just passionately sing it. So anyway, that's that. I hope you enjoy playing this hymn, Thine Be the Glory, and share any thoughts. What favorite kind of Easter tunes are you playing, if any? So until next time, this is Scott Shade. Happy Lodi whistling, my friends.